Hey everyone out there, the last great adventurer again. Ooh, alright. Little loud.
A bad man fell from the sky.
There we go. Look, Ma, I'm a skull monkey. In fact, I am Clog Monkey, the king of all skull monkeys.
Clog Monkey will never get away with this. My people are far too smart to accept him as leader.
First, we make an evil engine.
We make an evil engine.
Evil engine number 9.
Number 9.
To destroy the Neverhood.
Destroy the Neverhood.
Now let's get to work.
What was that, you might be asking yourself? Well, let me tell you. This is Skullmonkeys for the PlayStation 1. Skullmonkeys is a follow-up / sequel to a PC game called the Neverhood. This game's weird. These games are weird. Most notably because of their claymation aesthetic, which is fairly unique to video games in general. There aren't a lot of claymation style games, which is unfortunate for a lot of reasons. Now, you might be confused that this might be a short film, but this is in fact just the intro to the video game. Fairly elaborate, not quite as elaborate as the original Neverhood. The original Neverhood was published back in the late 90s as a point-and-click adventure game for PCs, and by it was published, of course, by Dreamworks Interactive, which back in the 90s, like, all movie studios were trying to, like, have their own video game arms. Dreamworks was no different. for whatever reason, they decided to go a different direction for its sequel. Not only not having it on a PC, putting it on the PlayStation 1. This is no longer a point-and-click adventure game. It is, in fact, a platformer, action platformer, jump and bop, Super Mario style. I've never played this game. I remember advertisements for it in magazines when I was younger, and I got super excited about it because I love the Neverhood. Its aesthetic is just astonishing. Oh look, more plot. So anyway, our titular hero here with the winged backpack, Iron Man-esque, is Clayman, the hero of the original Neverhood. And there he is. So like I said, this game is like all about claymation. The original Neverhood was, in broad strokes, was a story about a being who created a world, the Neverhood, and he was going to populate it with beings. The first one he created went bad and stole his magic crown, which he was used to like create life. And as his last act before he was kidnapped, before he was ousted. Oh my, let's not spoil anything. Was to create one more being, and that is Clayman, who wakes up with no memory of who he is. He is just in this strange world, and he has to piece everything together and defeat the bad guy and restore order to this crazy world. Skullmonkeys appears to pick up directly after the events of the first game, where we saw in the intro the guy falling through space. He was the villain from the first game. He has clearly subjugated this Skullmonkey world, and now Clayman has come to save the day, I guess. So let's play this game. Let's start game and see what this game's all about. Like I said, I have not played this game before, so we are discovering it together. Right off the bat, things are looking pretty good. Clayman here runs and jumps. Those appear to be coins. Clay ball. Collect 100 of these for a free life. So they are, in fact, the coins. These will protect you from one hit. Oh, it's like a... So it's a... Oh, I see. Wow, those... Yeah. So that kind of distracting. Kind of looks weird. But it's basically the Mario power-up, one hit. Oop, there's a monkey. How do we beat him? And that's a magnet. Bullets. Bullets? What the? You only get one of them. And I took my one hit. And you can, in fact, hop and bop. This static background's a little wonky. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on in the foreground because of the way it moves. No double jump. Collect the balls. Jump on monkey. See the pixelated skull. Jump on these. Oh, level checkpoint. So, boy. Okay. Oh, that's a weird hitbox. But you only bounce on them once. Oop, what's over here? Ew, ooh, exploded. 4 lives. Wow, I gotta tell you, you're not playing this so you can't feel it. The jumping is a little imprecise, which is problematic when they kind of have random movements. What's going on? There it goes. Something was running in the background. Hopefully you guys didn't catch all that slowdown. That is probably just my computer. Oh, come on. I get a feeling this might be a little bit hard. Nope. So, the reason I'm playing this game is I work at a video game store part-time for fun. And I've been looking for a copy of this game for ages, and it wasn't until recently that this one just sort of turned up. Completely unexpected, as it usually does at game stores. People choose to trade their games in. you never know what you're going to get. And like I said, I've been looking for this game for ages and ages and ages, so I was totally taken by surprise to see this just turn up in a random collection. I haven't bought it yet. I'm only borrowing it from the store, as we are allowed to borrow one game for a 2-day period to test it out. I'm thinking about buying it. It's like a $32 game, though. It's actually a pretty uncommon game, which is why I haven't seen it out in the wild very much. I actually thought it was worth more. I think it was worth more in the past, and the prices come down. This game is very unlikely to ever be re-released. I gotta say, this gameplay is a little repetitive, but it's very unlikely to be re-released because of a bunch of reasons. Dreamworks Interactive, I don't even know who owns them anymore, or their library, and the people who made this game have basically moved on. Collect 3 bonus level, okay. Teleport these to go to a new level. So this is this is B. So yeah, first level, honestly kind of boring, kind of repetitive. I mean, it looks great, but there isn't a lot to this game. Oh, I just found the run button. Hold down the square button, he will run. But again, the people who worked on this game have all moved on. The guy who created it, the art style, he's actually the guy who created Earthworm Jim. His name is Doug Tentapole. For a while, he did a bunch of like comics, graphic novels that I really enjoyed. Unfortunately, I don't really like the guy anymore. He's got certain political views that started informing his work, I'm afraid, and it just sort of like killed any interest I had in his work. So a couple of years ago, he decided that he was going to make a spiritual successor to the Neverhood called what was it called? Amacrog, something like that. It would be another claymation-based point-and-click, and it promised to be like super sharp HD claymation graphics, as your modern computers and video games can offer. That back in the day, you kind of lost a lot of your visual fidelity in these sorts of games because you were taking photographs and digitizing them significantly. These days, you could make that look a lot better. Alright, these platforms are driving me crazy. I guess I gotta take it a little bit easier. Whew. Like I said, that background being static like that is really screwing up my jumping. So yeah, I didn't really back his project. When, even a few years ago I might have done, because I don't trust him to create work that's, that's... Yeah, I can't do it anymore with him. Unfortunate. Okay, this slowdown is a problem. What is causing it? Something running in the background. Alright, these platforms are super annoying, and these jumps are floaty. Right off the bat, this game is fine. It feels fine, but it is a little janky. That, and also a little boring. Except for the art style, it's pretty bog standard here. Oh no, don't fall. All my progress. I think what they were going for in this game is more like a Donkey Kong Country, because Donkey Kong Country had 3D digitized graphics as well. What the... I hate it when you can hit the guy, kill the guy, and they still hit you. That's like bad design 101. Because being able to trade hits like that is just bad design. Either they hit you, or you hit them. It should never be both. Of course, I went to the red ball. This might just be a quote-unquote harder level than the other one that I could have chosen. So anyway, yeah, the Neverhood... So right off the bat, the Neverhood kind of had a agenda. Not really an agenda. It's the story it tells is a very straightforward Messiah story, where, damn it, Clayman is basically the Messiah of a world, and he is trying to restore God after God has been supplanted effectively by the devil. This game in particular Actually, right off the bat, there you can... Oh, wow, that's bad. It's going to be a lot easier if I just kill myself. Save myself a trip. See, that's also bad design. When killing yourself is a better choice than... Slow down. I think this PlayStation emulator isn't very good. No more lives. Right off the bat, this game, in its opening cinematic, the enemy is basically... The main bad guy is basically playing as a false prophet. So you can definitely still see that those biblical themes are still out in force. I don't suspect this game has a very deep story, unlike the Neverhood, which had being a point-and-click adventure. Of course, it was also a point-and-click adventure where there was no dialogue. It was all logic puzzles. All the story you got was from text and just what we call it, inference from, like, contextual things. Alright, here's a level with some parallax scrolling. Now when I, like, fall, you get a much better sense of, like, movement through space. You wouldn't suspect that matters. Oh, damn it. I think that's the end of that. Press triangle to continue, start to end the game. Well, don't accidentally push start, kids. So, I gotta say, 3 levels in, oh, this looks dangerous. The game is very pretty. The game looks very good. PlayStation didn't have a lot of 2D platformers because everyone was so gaga for 3D. Which is unfortunate, because PlayStation could do a lot with 2D stuff if it really wanted to. Games like Symphony of the Night or Klonoa. Even some like... Oh wow, that's a really bad hitbox. Even some oddball stuff like Disney's Hercules, the game, look really good on the PlayStation 1. And there just aren't enough games like that. So this being a 2D platformer on top of, you know, its claymation style, it makes it fairly unique on the PlayStation 1 in terms of if you're looking for this kind of game, there aren't a lot of choices. And this one, so far, I mean, is competent. It's fine. I just feel that there's not enough here to really... It's kind of basic. And the hitboxes are real bad. You should not be in a situation where... every time you jump on an enemy, you're afraid that you're going to die. Because it makes you not want to hit the enemies. Oh dear. Okay, finally a new enemy type. The electricity on his head suggests... Don't jump on his head. Don't get hit by his energy balls. The fact that you can kill 2 enemies with 1 jump kind of suggests to me that it's a little bit loose with its hitbox. Wow, that's hard to dodge. It's hard to even read. There's some more slowdown. I'm not sure how usable this game's footage is. Oh, I gotta stop doing stuff when I'm slowing down. Yeah, that slowdown is more than likely my computer. It's not the game. Like I said, I'm running this through an emulator on my PC. I am running it off a disc, though. The nice thing about the PS1 emulators is you can just play the disc. It's just like a PS1. And I'm running off a PS4 controller, so I almost have that authentic DualShock experience. Oh, wow. Oh, jeez. See, this is... Oh. Let's give this another run. Oh, yeah, it's going to start me from the beginning. All these baskets. Oh! This game is hard. Well, yeah, not hard, just unforgiving, I suppose. Being these are claymation figures photographed and then, like, strung together, it kind of gives them very, like, undefined hitboxes, so that, like, when your character... And again, your character's body isn't the same, so he's kind of got less than defined, you know, hitboxes. So sometimes, like, parts of the bodies will pass through each other safely, and sometimes they won't, because the hitboxes don't really match the character models. 3D games with 3D hitboxes kind of solve that problem, but it's still a problem with some of these, like, what's the word for it? Digitized graphics. Whoop, whoop. Oh, interesting. He doesn't usually talk. Here we go. At least this time I got one hit of armor. Let me get through it if it goes bad like that. What's my prize? More balls. Oh no, I jumped too shallow. And now, oh, did I never hit a save point? Wow, that sucks. So this game's, like I said, there's just not much to this game, unfortunately. I'm only 3 levels in, but at the same time, usually if a game is gonna be, like, good, you'll know it by now. Oh, there we go. At least I won't go all the way back next time. But at the same time, oh, almost lost my hit armor. Generally, there's something to it, like some mechanical thing that makes moving around fun. This game just doesn't really have that. Like, he doesn't bounce satisfyingly off these enemies, so you can't, like, do juggle combos, like, consistently, because you're always afraid you're gonna, like, run into them, because your jump's a little too shallow, or didn't jump soon enough. Yeah, I'm somewhat disappointed. I mean, the game looks great, honestly. There's great design. Not enough claymation in this world. But, oh, and it's password-based. A good... so I could jump ahead. It uses pretty straightforward... Yeah. So, that was Skullmonkeys. I gotta say, it's not worth the $33 that my store charges for it, unfortunately. Or much higher. I mean, it's a nice curiosity and I want a copy, but part of me playing this was to decide, do I want to really pay that much money for this game? And I believe the answer is no. It's a nice piece of history, and this is a nice thing to, like, as a fan of the Neverhood, I kind of appreciate what it's trying to do differently. But I just don't think it's worth it. Maybe if I find it much cheaper at another time in the future, it'll be a nice collector's item. But right now, I think I'm going to pass on it. I can't really recommend this game except for those who are really looking for a 2D platformer on the PlayStation 1. Yeah. So, thanks for watching my video. If you have any, questions, comments, or feedback, feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to email me at the email below. You can always find me on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Oh, wait. What is this? That was like a temporary... See, those are the mechanical things I wanted in the early game. Like, something that's like puzzle-based. It's like... This level here looks a lot more interesting than the opening levels. So this game might have something going on after all. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Oh, Willie Trombone. He's a great character from the Neverhood. He's a goofball. Him and Robot Bill always getting up to hijinks. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one.